Time is truly wasted. There's no guarantee. Smile is in the making. You gotta fight the powers that be. Got so many voices saying all the same. Giving up all around me. Faces full of pain. I try to play my music. They say my music's too loud. I try talking about it. I got the big run around. And when I roll with the punches, I got knocked on the ground by all this bullshit going down. Hey, time is truly wasted. There's no guarantee. Smile is in the making. We gotta fight the powers that be. I don't understand that. People wanna say those that got the answers. Red tape in the way. I could take you it easy. That's just half the fun. No, no. Seeking my satisfaction keeps me on the run. I try to play my music, say my music's too loud. I try talking about it, I got the big run around. And when I roll with the punches, I got knocked on the ground by all this bullshit going down. Oh, time is truly wasted. There's no guarantee. Smile is in the making. We gotta fight the powers that be. Got it, baby. Hey. Even you and I can't. Got the power. Come on. Fight it. Fight the power. Ha, fight it. Fight the baby, baby. You gonna fight the power. Fight it. Fight it. Fight the power. Fight it. Fight the power. Stand up and fight it. Fight the power. Come on. Stand up. Stand up. Fight the power. Yeah. Fight it. Fight the power. I believe. I believe. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight it. Fight it. Baby, 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 baby. Yeah. Power.
Alrighty there. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. As always, my good friend and my co-host Shaw Willie is in the building with me. How you doing, Shaw? Come on in and say hello to the good folks.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing well. I'm fighting the powers
Doing
that
well?
be.
Fighting the
Yeah.
powers that be, because that's what we got to do. We got to fight the powers that be.
Yeah.
Folks. When we play a song like that, we must be gonna get a little political. We'll talk about the VP. We're gonna talk about VP, Madam Vice President Harris, and the level of disrespect the Republicans, not only Trump himself, but the Republicans and their pundits and all these other folks are showing this woman that is currently the sitting vice president of the United States. Some of the things that you're going to hear come from Trump's mouth and Fox News and a few of the other folks, the clips that we got tonight to share with you folks, you got to ask yourself, really? But that's to be expected, because that's all they have. That's to be expected, Sean. When you can't beat somebody, As as they say, when you can't beat them, the only thing you can do is throw stones at them. And we don't really have any throw stones. What did they do to us as black people? One of the very first attacks that they do to us, they attack our intelligence. Agree?
Agreed. Yeah.
That's the first thing they do, and that's exactly what the Republicans and Donald Trump and this J.D. Vance and the vice president of the Republicans, pick of the Republicans. That's exactly what they're doing to Kamala Harris,
Hmm.
and attacking her, not only attacking her as a woman, attacking her credentials, attacking her record, attacking everything. And what's bad about this, short, you got people that look like us, they're saying the
Mm.
same damn thing.
Dang, sound like them YouTube streets. Oh boy.
It's not on the YouTube streets that spilled out into the real streets.
Say it
It's
ain't
tragic.
so.
It is so. Oh, it's so. But before we go any further, folks, Shari, when it was in the background, I said, some time ago, I grabbed this clip and I said, hold on to this. Because, when you go through your computer and after you do a show and you upload it, you don't need this clip anymore, so you discard it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on to it unless you need it. But
Yeah.
for something, every time I looked at this clip and I was going to delete it, I said, you know what? Let me hold on to it. I might need this again for something. So, folks, this clip was taken some time ago. And I thought to myself, the level of disrespect they showed this woman as the vice president. If you don't believe, it didn't just start when President Joe Biden said he was going to step out the race and kind of, as they say, pass the torch on to, which naturally would be the vice president.
Right.
I don't see what the problem is. But you're going to see them talk about that too. But anyway, folks, let's get to this first clip. All right.
Of your idea on the gender pay gap. Not everyone works for a corporation. Yes. And a big. Hey.
Folks, I want y'all to understand something. That is the vice president of the United States. Where in the fuck is the Secret Service? How was this man able to walk up on the stage? Suppose he either had a gun. Suppose he either had a knife. Suppose he either had some kind of explosive device. How was he able to get up there? Look again.
Right.
Let's start this back.
And whatever venue this is, it's just supposed to be a protective place.
Right. Where's the security? Let me put this up on the big screen. Security, folks. Let's start this from right here. Where's the security? You see, right? One of these ladies is the vice president of the United States of America. Okay?
Implementation of your big pay gap. Not everyone works for a corporation. Yes. And a big.
Hello. Oh, hi. Wait a minute, sir.
Asking for your attention to a much bigger idea than.
Thank you so much, sir, for your big idea. But we want to make sure that we are able to get through this. Okay, it's okay, folks. It's okay. People.
Now, that's all I wanted you to see. Right. That's okay. I want y'all to watch this one more time. But this time, I want you, if you folks got a stopwatch or a stop clock or anything, I want you to time how long it takes before any males show up on the screen. Let's go. Let's do this one more time. This clip was taken 6-7 months ago, folks.
Senator, on implementation of your first big idea on the gender pay gap. Not everyone works for a corporation. Yes. And a big.
Okay, right there. If he wanted to do the vice president of the United States, look how close he got to her. Sure. Look how close he got to folks. Did I lose you, Sure? You're on mute there. But anyway, I didn't mean to stop it, but I had to. But this time, okay, break the countdown there. Break out your stopwatches and count how long it takes for a man to show up on the stage, or a man or Secret Service or anybody.
Senator, on implementation of your first big idea on the gender pay gap, not everyone works for a corporation.
Yes.
And a big.
Hey,
Whoa.
hey.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hi. Sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your big sure that we are able to get through this. Okay, it's okay, folks. It's okay. People have their own big ideas. They have their own big ideas.
Yeah.
But we also want to make sure that we are being respectful to our folks that have come here to speak to us.
You just gotta be respectful
here's what we're
to all
gonna
the
do.
folks that are coming out here.
Yeah, we got respect.
There it is, folks. Now you explain that to me. I don't know how many of you folks took out your stopwatches and timed it, but I counted 18 to 19 seconds before anyone was on that stage.
Wow. Even the crew, the news crew, were women.
Even
They were coming from the
right,
back.
right. There was more women on the stage than there were men at one point in time. And then you see when the one dude finally stepped up on stage, he should have tackled the dude, but he took a sissy step to the right. That's what I called it.
Oh, okay. That's what it's called. We'd love to know.
Looked like he was about to do some line dancing or something. He didn't look like he didn't want no part of that dude.
Mm.
Now, any given circumstances, folks, I tell you, this. Let me go ahead and take that off the screen. This should have not happened.
Right.
That's the Vice President of the United States, but that's the level of respect that even the people in the studio showed her, because this is if I'm not mistaken, isn't this the press secretary right here? She showed more balls than any dude on the stage.
Mm.
I told you, I'm gonna say it again. He took that sissy step. He ain't put a hand on him. He just took a sissy step.
Mm.
Let me go ahead and move this off the screen. Now, you ask, where would all this come from? Where would this level of disrespect come from, folks? This was today. Today, I took this footage earlier today during the Trump rally. Today is Saturday, the 27th of July. This is what he said about the Vice President of the United States today.
This room is amazing. The people in this room, high IQ individuals. I'm running against a low IQ individual, her. I'm not even talking about him.
He said, I'm going to let you speak on that first, Sean. Go ahead.
Low IQ. And how did he come up with that? I mean, just the fact of where she is shows some level of a high IQ. So I'm trying to figure out, where did he get that information? What is he basing that on?
Right. See, that's why I let you speak first, because you're nice. This dumbass right here, who didn't even graduate without somebody taking tests for him, that scammed millions of people, millions of dollars out of Trump University, didn't get one diploma. Check VP Harris's educational credentials. Check them out, that Donald Trump. I guarantee you, in the realm of intelligence, she would run circles around you. But again, this is what they do, folks. When they can't beat you, they go to that go-to of, let's attack black folks' intelligence. Let's attack this woman's intelligence. And that's exactly what he's doing. And who's he's doing it for? Say what you want to. But this is the way a lot of America thinks. A whole lot. Sure.
Oh, nothing else to say about that.
Before we start this, right? Before we start this clip on, let me say something else to black folks. If any one of you black folks go buy Bitcoin, you're a damn fool. This is who he's speaking to. This is a Bitcoin convention. Any of you black folks go spend your money on Bitcoin, you're a damn fool. Because this is who he's talking to. Today, the 27th of July. This is who he's talking to. All these so-called educated folks in this audience. And he stands up in front of these folks and calls the Vice President of the United States. What? Listen.
I got a low IQ individual.
That was Donald Trump referring to Vice President Kamala Harris as a low IQ individual. This was, again, yet another completely
Again, folks, let me shout out the folks at Midas Touch. This is the independent network. This is not CNN, NBC, where they water down the news to set that narrative. So if you haven't subscribed to the Midas Touch, it's a bunch of young folks. I think Ben Marcellus here is the proprietor of this news organization. They're on par with the Young Turks. I've shouted out the Young Turks before. Shout out the Midas Touch Network. Go check them out. Like, share, and subscribe their content, folks, because they're really good at what they do. They call it as they see it. They're unbiased in their news reporting. So check them out. Shout out to you, Ben Marcellus.
in speech. This was in Nashville at a Bitcoin conference, and Donald Trump just continued to use fear and make bizarre statements. Let me show you what he did next. He then attacks Miley Cyrus by basically saying to her dad, who was in the audience, like, why aren't you controlling your daughter and telling her to vote for me? Why'd your daughter become a liberal? Here, play this clip.
So many things about it. And Billy Ray Cyrus is here. Where's Billy Ray? Is he around here?
Okay, let's talk about Billy Ray. Achy breaky heart. That's what the fuck he's known for. When did he get a political voice? No, he wasn't attacking Billy Ray Cyrus. He was attacking Miley Cyrus. Why? Because she has her pulse on young white America. Thoughts on that, Sean?
So he's calling out the dad to say, control the thoughts and actions of your child that's an adult. And I think that girl, the third now.
A grown woman, you gonna chastise her pops on a national platform. Get your daughter in check. And that's why they another young white lady they fear, Taylor Swift. Them Swifties ain't no joke. Let's continue.
Someplace, and he's great. He's a conservative guy. Said, "How did you get such a liberal daughter? How did that happen, Billy Ray?"
Then Donald Trump threatens the crowd that if Vice President Kamala Harris wins, that everybody in the crowd is going to be gone. Be gone. As he replies this clip.
Because the SEC is very, very tough. And I see that you've embraced me. All of a sudden, people that were under investigation, they're being let go. They're saying, "Oh no, we don't want to do that. We love crypto." Let me tell you, if they win this election, every one of you will be gone. They will be vicious. They will be ruthless. They will do things that you wouldn't believe. But right now, because of me, they're leaving you alone. So please say thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's speak on Bitcoin for a minute. That's why I told you folks, if you're buying Bitcoin right now, if you're investing your money in Bitcoin, go look for yourself. Look it up in Google and see how many investigations are pending on so-called Bitcoin and those companies that want you to buy Bitcoin. So basically what Donald Trump is saying is if he gets back in the office, he's going to let all of that ride. Don't worry about it.
No, stop. I almost spit my water out.
But it's the truth, ain't it?
Lord, how much?
Ain't that what he's saying? Fucking worry about it. Don't worry about it. He ain't going to jail. Nothing. I'm just putting a stop to all these investigations. If not, if y'all asses don't want to get locked up, you better vote for me. If not,
Arcade.
right. If not, they're gonna lock a lot of your asses up. You won't be here.
Oh boy.
You gotta, let's continue.
Then Donald Trump gets racist and xenophobic, and he calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Here, play this clip.
The moment I'm sworn in, the persecution stops and the weaponization ends against your industry. And as long as I'm in the Oval Office, Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, do you remember? Yes, I'm an Indian. Yes, she said, I'm an Indian. Why are you an Indian? You don't look like an Indian. No, my mother told me I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's why she was an Indian. So I named her Pocahontas.
See, that's what you get for trying to pass as a $5 Indian. You knew sooner or later that was going to come back to haunt you. Listen, if you know anything about Elizabeth Warren, there was a point in time that she mentioned that she may have some Native American heritage in her. Okay, come to find out that she didn't. All right. Easy mistake. Easy mistake. I don't know, but that's not the point here. Okay, that was some years ago. That's all you Donald Trump. That's all you got on her. That's it.
That's all he got.
That's it. Pocahontas. You've been saying that since 2016, and nothing new came up yet. Yeah, let's continue.
Donald Trump uses more fear and once again says you're all going to be crushed if you don't vote for me. Play the clip.
You don't hear those words anymore. We used to talk about the American dream. A lot of you people are in the American dream, but you're going to be crushed if you don't elect me. I hate to tell you. You don't elect me, you're going to be crushed. You're going to say, Alice, what a mistake it was.
You don't elect me, you're going to be crushed. If you don't elect me, you're going to go to jail. That's what he's saying. You're going to be crushed. There's going to be investigations out the yin yang, and I won't be able to help you. And so far now, understand something. This went on for a couple hours or so. Wow. Has Donald Trump spoke anything about policy yet? For all those Donald Trump fans, where's the policy? What is he talking about? Nothing but a wheelbarrow full of nasty grams. But this is the guy y'all want to be president. This is the guy y'all say that had the best record of any president since Roosevelt. And if you, one thing, folks, if you notice, ain't nothing wrong with Donald Trump's ear. How long y'all thought I was gonna hold that? Now, understand something, folks. He just got shot. What on the 13th? Day 27th. Who heals that fast?
70-something-year-old.
And is he part lizard or something? Because you know, if you chop a lizard tail off, it'll grow back.
He might be. He slithered his way in. So,
he sure did, didn't he? He's what we call a skink. One of them, you know, skink. If y'all live in the South, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a real thick lizard. It has like a purple and black tail. And if you chop the tail off, it just sits there and wiggle, and the skink going about his business. That's what Donald Trump did. Who gets shot with a high-powered rifle in the ear and then lose near a piece of their ear, folks?
Yeah, because the ear is cartilage.
Cartilage.
Mm-hmm.
He should have. Remember when Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson bit? So imagine if Mike Tyson could bite that hard and take a chunk out of Evander Holyfield's ear. Imagine what a bullet should have done to Trump's ear.
Yeah.
Because he was walking around with that big bandage on, like he had had strapped a book to the side of his ear. But let's continue. This is all today, folks.
We went for a person who has no talent. She's been a failure at almost everything she's done instead of Trump. And look at us now. We're going to move into an extremely small house from our beautiful house. But
more fear mongering from Donald Trump. He then says that there will be a depression if you don't vote for him. Again, more fear and threats. Play the clip.
Greatest of all, and others that say the stock market's going up because they think Trump is going to be elected. And if Trump isn't elected, this country's going to go into a depression, the likes of which you had in 1929. And I hope that's not true, but I can.
Well, folks, again, more fear mongering. Okay, now if you go and look at the ticker tape like I do, because it runs across from the bottom of my screen every day. Bitcoin, right after this speech, the stock went down. Steady decline. During the speech and right after the speech, you could literally watch the ticker go down and down and down. So yeah, thank you there for all you folks that invested in Bitcoin to Donald Trump, because y'all lost plenty of money today.
Wow.
Plenty. Don't believe me? Go check it out for yourself. Go look at Bitcoin stock before this speech and after this speech. Go look for yourself. Let's continue.
Understand it, and I can understand what they're saying. The stock market gain, they think, is because looks like we're going to win the election. And I don't know what's going to happen with the election. You know, they cheat like hell, and I don't.
Then he promises to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht, he says, someone who was convicted of drug trafficking, who Trump had the opportunity to commute when Trump was in office, which he didn't. But he says he would commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence if you elect him. Play the clip.
Today, I repeat my pledge to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. It's enough.
Next, he claims he's going to fire the SEC chair, Gary Gensler.
Oh, okay, folks, I want you to understand. I want you to go look up this guy, Ross, and see what he's been convicted of. I'm not going to talk about him. Go see for yourself. But this is who Donald Trump plans to exonerate, wipes the slate clean. Not only this, with this guy, Ross, listen to who he's planning to, what he's planning to do next.
Which he's not even allowed to do, he says, but that got an applause line. Here, play the clip.
She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
Okay, again, Shar, remember last week we talked about Project 25?
Yes.
2025? This is part of that. This is part of that deal. He's going to put people in place that are loyal to Trump. And he just told you that again. He just told you that again because this guy that he's talking about has got Bitcoin, these folks, these so-called Bitcoin, just like they had some time ago with the hedge fund guys and in 2008, the housing crisis guys. They're under investigation. And Trump is saying he's going to wipe all of that slate clean by firing that guy, the SEC chairman. What is the SEC chairman? What did he do? Fair Trade Commission. They make sure that folks are not holding monopolies and make sure that folks are not cheating you out your hard-earned money. They go after criminals like these folks at Bitcoin. Donald Trump wants to do what? Fire him and put somebody in place that will do Donald Trump's bidding.
Right.
So again, black folks, or any folks that listen to this, if you go buy Bitcoin, you know you're already dealing with criminals. Don't say you ain't been warned. Because anything Donald and Trump endorses, there's some criminal activity behind it. Let's continue.
I didn't know he was that unpopular. Well, I didn't know he was that unpopular. Let me say it again. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. Whoa. And we'll appoint a new SEC chairman who believes America should build the future, not block the future, which is what they're doing.
Then Donald Trump wants to tell the crowd that he's very smart because his uncle went to MIT. Just listen to what he's saying here. It's beyond bizarre. Play this clip.
Now, I want y'all to listen to this. Now, do you tell me, just because somebody in your family is smart, that automatically makes you smart?
Not from what I've seen in life.
Right. Because I'm here to tell you right now, no disrespect to some of my cousins, but shit, cat foes. Okay. Oh, the hell. So does the reverse work? If everybody in your family is dumb, that means you're going to be dumb too?
Okay.
That's what's gonna happen. I want the United States to be first in technology, first in science, first in manufacturing, first in artificial intelligence, and first in space. You know, at MIT, my uncle was a professor there, Dr. John Trump. He would have fit in with this room very nicely, actually. That's why I mention it. And I believe he was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT. He graduated. We have a very intelligent family, actually.
Okay, folks, I didn't want y'all to gloss over that, but he said his uncle would fit in right in with that crowd there.
He sure did. That's why he mentioned
it. So basically he's calling his uncle a what? A con man or a criminal.
Right.
He graduated tremendously. I think
he then says that most people don't know what the hell Bitcoin is. Play the clip.
And I don't think you've ever seen anything like it. And most people have no idea what the hell it is. You know that, right? So what happens when they figure it out? That's going to really be something.
By the way, while he's giving this speech, the price of Bitcoin is like dropping.
There it is right there. See, I wasn't lying. Y'all thought I was Y'all thought I was lying, huh? Y'all thought I made that up? I come with receipts. There it is right there.
Man, that drop.
Now look at that. Look at that. Look at the shit. Y'all, whoever invested in Bitcoin, you're angry man. How's that Bitcoin working out for you?
It ain't good.
Right. Not from what I'm seeing there. But let's continue, folks. I tell you, the Mycellus Network and Ben Mycellus and his brothers and a few of the other young folks that they got over there, they listen, these folks come with receipts. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, folks. Oh, again, I got to shout out to another guy over there. I always watch another guy named Michael Pokopoff. He's on point too. So big shout out to Michael Pokopoff, also of Midas Touch Network.
In real time, you can see it right there. I don't think he knows what Bitcoin is because he talks about building the largest stockpile of it in the United States. Here, play this clip.
Final part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%.
Well, he know that Bitcoins is not something that's tangible. He do know that. You can't stockpile that. Okay.
Well, you know. But history has it where people think so.
But he called a VP Harris what? Okay.
Unintelligent.
Who's smart? Right, unintelligent, and that's putting it mildly. Who's unintelligent? Who's showing the real? Who's showing the lack of intellect now?
I hope you do well, please. This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile.
I also just want to go back, though, one more time to what he said yesterday. because this needs to get more attention. We've been highlighting here on the Midas Touch Network, and fortunately, Nancy Pelosi posted about it. Cardi B posted about it as well, and it was one of our editors who clipped this originally, ASIN, where Donald Trump says, look, Christians, if you vote for me, you're never going to have to vote again. I'm going to fix the elections in the future. He's going to fix it, he said, so there'll be no more voting and he'll be a dictator. And then he also says, listen carefully, he goes, I'm not Christian. Here, play this clip.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
So again, we're having more unhinged, really bizarre behavior. And it's just important that we cover it every step of the way here on the Midas Touch Network, so you can just see for yourself what's going on here. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers thanks to your support.
Love this video.
3 million subscribers there, ladies and gentlemen. 3 million subscribers. That's a movement in itself. Understand that. That's independent news network. So big shout out to the Midas Touch Network. I've, as they say, I've been one of the day ones, along with him and a few of the other ones. I'm glad to see that. I wish more of our brothers and sisters took the mantle of these young individuals, but unfortunately they didn't. So I got to use the next best thing. But Shar, anything you want to say? I'm not even going to even touch the Christian thing. What else can you say about that? You know, he was talking to white nationalists, just like I said about these white supremacist thing, folks. It's the only religion that's not considered a religion. That's who he was talking to. Mm-hmm. Christian, onward, Christian soldiers marching off to war.
I'm so glad that he was honest enough to say, "Hey, this is what my plan is."
That's right.
You vote this time, you ain't gotta worry about it no more. I'll be president forever.
Ever. I'm locking shit down. I told y'all. I'm locking it down. All right, folks. Let's get to our final clip of the night. And again, this is a little montage. First, we're going to start with the vice president and some of the things that some of the folks at Fox News and some other things that said about it. Then we're going to slide over to TikTok and pick up some clips from there and tell you exactly, like I said, the whole of America. There is it's an energy that's building up right now, folks. And I don't know about you, Shar, but I haven't felt this energy in the political spectacle arena since the Obama years. And,
I agree with that.
And the charge again is led by who? Black women. Mm-hmm. But what's different this time? White women. And some white men are acknowledging that. But our brothers, some of our brothers, especially in the YouTube streets, Shar, where we frequent from time to time, they're still talking shit about the vice president. Yeah, I know. Sad, ain't it? But anyway, folks, let's get to our last clip here. Y'all check this out.
And they've been to, I shouldn't tell you, 129 different rallies. Can you believe it? Look how great they look. And their husbands love them. I don't know how the husbands do this. They travel all over, and finally we have one in North Carolina, nice and easy.
This was a rally from North Carolina either yesterday or Friday. I think it was, yesterday was Friday, either Thursday or Friday. But this was the prelude to the speech that we just heard, because this is what he's going to do. Now, again, nothing about policy, and you can go back and check out these 2 speeches in their entirety. All this was a nasty gram show, folks. Listen for yourself.
It's nice and easy for you. No, they're incredible people. 129 rallies, it's great. But it's really tremendous to be back in this beautiful state with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. Here's a nice arena. How about the people outside that can't get in? That's a lot of people too. Would anybody like to give up your seats? Would anybody? You're just not generous people. As you know, 3 days ago, we officially defeated the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. He quit because he was losing so badly in the polls. He was down in every single poll and down by a lot, so he quit. But really, what happened was the leaders of the Democrat Party, in a very undemocratic move, the bosses, they said, either you get out or we're going to throw you out using the 25th Amendment. That's what happened. You know that. So what? Well, you know that. That's what happens. That's what.
Well, and if you folks don't know, if you go back into the archives of Donald Trump, you will know at one point in time, there were some folks that threatened to use that same article that he just mentioned against him. So that's a bit of projection. What you say so short?
Yeah, he's a bit much.
Anything you want to add to this so far before I click it and start again?
How he's saying that they pretty much defeated Joe Biden, made him quit, and then turn around and say, oh, the people in his camp said, you got to get out of here, or else we're going to invoke this amendment on you.
Right.
Which one is it?
Right. Which one is it? But again, Char, we covered that, with when he stepped down last week. I think it was quite noble. And the one thing that Trump is lying about right now is the Democrats have not had their Democratic convention yet. So although Joe Biden would have been the presumptive candidate because he stepped back, the Democrats, they had a chance to say, okay, we don't want VP Harris as the presumptive candidate. We're going to hold what they do, and then we'll introduce our candidate for president during our Democratic convention, which is, I think, here in a couple of weeks. What is Trump talking about?
Who knows?
Let's continue.
Happens. These are nasty people, the Democrats, so we better beat them or we're not going to have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris. Lion. L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far left vice president in American history. By the way, they did a poll. She was rated the worst vice president in history. I've never seen that poll before, but that's the poll.
He just said they did a poll, but then in the very next second, does this guy realize how quick he got live? Who tell it? I haven't seen the poll, but I know it's out there.
He's taking that how to be a successful content creator on YouTube course.
Right, he's taking that shit just a little bit too serious, ain't he? Damn, Trump. I mean, just lie after lie after lie. And look at the folks in the background. Not a yassa boss in sight this time.
Together we will win North Carolina in an epic landslide. We're way ahead in the poll.
He's obviously the co-owner of the policies of the Biden administration. And
now, of course, if you don't know who this guy is with the glasses, this is Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Once Mike Johnson found out that the president was going to step aside, this was the first thing that came out of his mouth. They wanted to hold. They were already trying to figure out a way to where what Biden was doing was illegal. So much so that some unknown Republican congressmen already have introduced articles of impeachment against VP Harris because of this statement right here.
she was the border guard, which is the biggest problem in the country that everybody knows. She's had her hands on a lot of the policy failures that have gotten us in the mess that we're in. So We're excited about November in the Republican Party. We're excited about our ticket with the Trump Vance ticket, and we look forward to putting on that case.
What's the specific law are the Democrats breaking that you alleged by including her if she is the nominee for Congress ticket? You said you need to sue her in all 50 states. What are you alleging?
I never said I was going to sue her. I said that we have 50 different systems in each of the states when it comes to presidential elections and choosing electors and all the rest. And in some of the states, there are impediments to just switching someone out like that. Remember that this claims to be the party of democracy, small democracy, right? 14 million people went through the process that chose this nominee, Joe Biden. Now a handful of people have gotten together and decided he's no longer suitable.
Okay, that's where Donald Trump got that from right there, that statement. And that is absolutely not true. Mike Pence said this the day after we found out Joe Biden was stepping out Monday. Sunday, Mike Pence, well, I said Mike Pence, but Mike Johnson said this on Monday. And he was absolutely wrong for this. There was no official nominee for the Democratic presidential candidate yet. They have not held their convention. So he's absolutely wrong about what he's saying. But the thing about this, folks, he knows he's wrong. This is their way of sending messages to Trump so Trump can say it to the crowd. Sure.
Continue.
Not how this system works. Democratic principles, and I think that's a real problem, and I think there'll be a lot said about that in the days ahead.
So you expect lawsuits?
Well, look, if it violates the rule of these states, I expect that there will be litigation over that. So we'll see how it develops. We're doing our job here in Washington. The states will be handling that, but I do think it's problematic. I think millions of the American people believe that this is problematic. This is not the way the system is supposed to work. There's a reason it's unprecedented. You don't just, steamroll the rules and the process because you decide that your candidate is no longer suitable. That's what's happened here. I think everybody can see it for themselves, and we'll see how the campaign unfurls.
Last night, black men rallied for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got a few.
So this is for all this particular part here is for all the brothers and the sisters who say that black men are not doing anything, who say that black men are not are going over to the Republican Party in drones. I beg to differ. I beg to differ with you. So let's take a look at this clip here, and then we're gonna this is Joy Reid. Shout out to Joy Reid. I enjoy her content, but anyway, let's continue.
Tens of thousands joining a video call to raise money and support for Harris's presidential bid. It comes as Republicans claim to be making an appeal to black men while unleashing a flood of racism and sexism against this historic candidate, saying she's a DEI vice president and worse.
I don't know Kamala. I served in the United States Marine Corps and I built a business. What the hell have you done other than collect a government check for the past 20 years? She didn't earn.
Okay, let me stop there right there. I can bring and this is personal experience. I can bring on 10 black Marines right now and tell you that there's men like this amongst us that we had to watch out for. We knew they were racist, but because they so-called we called ourselves light green and dark green Marine, we had to put up with that.
Okay.
So the military is permeated with folks that they just folks, and they hide behind that eagle, globe, and anchor, and that really disturbs me.
She inherited it. And Americans aren't hot on heirs. They like self-made men and women.
He chose her as his running mate, not because of her merit, not because she deserved the position, which go back and look at what she's done as vice president. Very little, if anything. It was because of how she looks.
We're going to say that you're slut shaming, all that stuff. I don't care. She slept her way to the top.
Wow.
Yeah. And if that last speaker right there, Megyn Kelly, go type in her resume. See what she did. See how many ding-a-ling she took to get to where she at.
And I'll say this, well, If she did, it worked.
Okay, she got to where she at, didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but she called it slut shame. She called it slut shaming.
she trying to do that SPE? Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing about it is, you hear all those folks talking about she a DEI hire. How? She's an elected official.
Because they're saying that because of the color,
Of her
she's
skin.
not just Anglo-Saxon.
Mm,
She entered in because of that. That's what they're trying to do.
mm,
They can't make
mm.
up their mind what she is.
White America pulled themselves up by the bootstraps, and you hear that? Good, hard-working Americans. Huh, picture that.
Sometimes you got to keep your feelings inside because you're on the TV. Joining me now, Michael Steele, former RNC chair, co-host of the Weekend on MSNBC, and Roland Martin, host of the daily digital show Roland Martin Unfiltered, and the host of last night's Black Men, gathering for Kamala. So I'm gonna come back to you in a second, Roland. But I have to go and allow my friend here at the same time. Donald Trump inherited $317 million from his dad, then probably lost $900 million, and they got hooked up by banks and, maybe some mafia folks to sort of build himself back up. He's been bankrupt 6 times. He became president because he was on a TV show and an employee at NBC on The Apprentice. Megyn Kelly, the things that in the book,
didn't she work at Fox?
Let's go to the guy who says she didn't earn.
For a long, long time. She worked at Fox a long, long time. And if you don't know who was at the head of Fox, go check out Rupert Murdoch's record. And what's his name? And how many times they've been sued for sexual harassment of a place that she was at for a long, long, long time. Until she spoke up about the sexual harassment that she was enduring. All of a sudden, Fox News got rid of her, kicked her to the curb.
Sorry, she got elected. She was a duly elected incumbent
More than
prosecutor
once.
and attorney general and a senator. I'm sorry, is it just because she's black?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
Yes. I mean, what is the threat here? I mean, if you disagree with the position she led on in the administration, then talk about that. But somebody's gonna call this slut shaming, and then you slut shame. So why do you have to make it so personal? Well, you make it personal.
Yeah, she earned it. I mean, well,
you make it personal because you want to drive the negative that edge of the east that like.
Also, who are you in, right? I mean,
Not
J.D.
bringing
Vance,
in-
first of all, has no
not
right to
bringing-
call this woman by her first name. Okay, she's not your house name. You don't get to call her by her first name, J.D. She has United States. Show her some respect. And J.D. Vance was basically the house pet of Peter Thiel. He wouldn't have a job if Peter Thiel hadn't given him a job. He wouldn't have a career, and he paid for a Senate campaign. Sorry, how did he earn being a Senate?
Okay, folks. Again, if you don't know who Peter Thiel is, go look up his record. But this J.D. Vance. He's supposed to have a hard line stance on the alphabet community. Go check out who gave him his start in the political arena. Openly gay guy. Sure. Anything you want to speak on so far?
Nothing so far.
Let's continue then, folks.
But what did he do before he became a senator? He wrote a book.
The dissing his own people. Let's go over to you, Roland.
Roland?
I'm sorry, we had to get those out.
Let me say this to all the white Republicans. Black people, we don't care what y'all think.
No.
Why am I saying that? Every accomplished black person you're an affirmative action hire. You're a DEI hire. You got hit for quotas. Listen, we heard that crap in college. We've heard it on jobs.
Well, I would take the accomplishment out of that. Accomplished, whether you're accomplished or however he just put that. But I would say, as a black man, I've heard that on several occasions. The only reason you got that job is because, or you only got that promotion because. No, in the Marine Corps, there's such thing as a cutting score. You have to have certain. You have to meet certain criteria. Nobody. I was not promoted to the rank of sergeant because.
What I have to say about that is okay, because we see how this world works. You've been here long enough, at least a good, I say 30 years. You kind of know how it works. Like, oh, I see how this go. Oh, okay. Even though
Yeah.
I was here first, and I know this and I know that, and this person came in the door because they know that person over there, and they want me to train the person, and they got promoted before me. Okay, I see how this works.
Right. First hired, first fired, last hired, stuff like that. Let's continue. I see we are. Right. Let's go on and see what old Roland Martin got to say. Again, folks, whether you're a fan of Roland Martin or not, again, I'm just trying to show you some of the clips that's out there that you don't necessarily see on mainstream media.
We're not Clarence Thomas. We're not going to sit here and wilt and go, oh my God, they're criticizing me. I'm not one of them. We don't care. Her resume politically, J.D. Vance can't even touch.
No.
So Megyn Kelly, you can go to hell. Jesse Waters, you can go to hell. And the rest of y'all. What did Lisa Murkowski, Republican from Alaska, say? Of course, it's not appropriate, for heaven's sake. What are they just going to say if you're not a white male? To me, I'm sorry, no. And lastly, white women, y'all need to be calling out because they call y'all DEI hires the Secret Service women who was trying to protect Trump.
That's right.
So that's just the real deal.
So let's go to this last night. It was actually really positive. Talk about it, Roland. You guys had, first of all, a lot of women did it first, did win with black women, and then you guys
So
did
here's the deal.
How'd it go?
The black meeting for 4 years, every single Sunday. So after Biden announced his decision, I was playing.
Before Roland announces these numbers, folks, this is what I'm going to say. I got to shout out to the brothers, all the brothers out there who, who donated to this, who spent some time in the Zoom rooms. Big shout out to Ernest Walker Jr. He sponsored a event, Black Men for Harris, and you could donate through there. Unfortunately, I was not a part of this Zoom call, but I have done my financial part, and of course I'll continue to do my part here as far as with the radio station, but making sure that you folks get out and vote. I can't make you vote, but at least I can make you aware of the candidates that you vote for. Shar, anything so far?
Nothing so far. Continue.
But again, shout out to the ladies. Y'all showed us the way. Again, on the YouTube streets, you always hear about black women. All they are just single. But I'm in New York. Pat the brothers on the back for a second.
And my man Wendell Hanson's golf tournament, the Richard T Classic in New Jersey. Mike Blake called me, and I was calling him too. He's like, yo, man, we got to get the bros together. He's like, hey, we want to work with your platform. I was like, all right, let's do it. That call literally came together in 24 hours. The brothers involved, it was Mike Blake, Bakari Sellers, Khalil Thompson, as well as Quentin James. We had never done anything together. We put this thing together. We used StreamYard. We used My Black Star Network. We wanted to be public and open. 53,000. This is the number of black men. I know 45,000 sisters called 53,000 black men. And here's what's so crazy.
53,000 black men on the call, and 53,000 black men gave up some kind of money, whether it was $1, $20, $5, $100, or whatever. So imagine 53. That was just if every black man on that call gave up $1. That's 53,000 already. Am I correct, Sean?
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That surpassed what the women did. So you put that Sunday Zoom call together that the black women started. And you put the Monday Zoom call together that the black men started. How much money's already been raised for this? Madam President Harris. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it, folks?
It does.
Anything, Sharp, before we move on?
That'll be all.
My digital guy sent me a text because I'm actually live doing my show right now, Joy. Only for you, I stepped away. He sent me a text and he said,
Favor ain't fair, Roland.
He said that black men are watching the replay on StreamYard and still registering. So we're now up to 55,000.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. I mean, and the thing is,
Because
it does
they are looking for belonging.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as an electoral matter, this is an important thing to do, right? Because there is an attempt on the Republican side to portray Donald Trump, because he has felonies, as being attractive to black male voters.
And that's so insulting.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think so little of us that that's your go?
And actually, they do. And I think I know we covered that part as well, Sharon, when we talked about the tennis shoe incident. That was just a way to bring some of the Yassa bosses in.
Yeah.
And some of y'all fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Or he like us. No, he not like us, a la Kendrick Lamar. He nothing like us.
To take your white convicted felon and think that we identify with him because he's a convicted felon and he's
Don't forget the tennis shoes.
I was about to go to you, Roland. You know my mind, baby boy. I was about to go to those Golden Mate tennis shoes and the idea that you could say you're going to protect our access to menthol cigarettes. Amen.
Let's not forget that. You know, when black folks and us menthol cigarettes and the shit. The only thing that he was missing was the part about the watermelon that they was gonna make sure that we got every year. Or maybe he could be like ABL, you know, the Ku Klux Klan gonna show up every Thanksgiving and bring his grandmother a turkey.
Some gifts, yeah.
Right. Let's continue. Yeah, there's some folks out there that actually said that. Klan brought them grandmothers some turkeys. The Klan.
Lord have mercy. I feel like I can go to church now on Sunday.
Eric Erickson added, Kamala is the daughter of an Indian and Jamaican immigrants who married a Jewish man. Her experience is the American dream and melting pot, but not really the black experience, particularly that in southern swing states like Georgia and North Carolina. I doubt he knows any black people.
I doubt if he knows any black people, but if you don't know anything about Oakland, where this woman grew up at, you can't get much blacker than that. Foothill Boulevard. You can ask anybody who's been to Oakland, East Oakland, ask them about Foothill Boulevard. It runs like through the heart of that Oakland. As a matter of fact, just go basketball movie, something like that, with Samuel L. Jackson. And I forgot the name of the movie right quickly, but go and check that out for yourself. Go pull up some of the things on what's going on in Oakland and to see if Kamala Harris had not been around the black experience because she had some immigrant parents, so to speak. She speak like she was from Oakland. You had to tell me.
Because this woman literally went to Howard University.
But does Eric Erickson know the origin story of Jamaicans?
No.
Do you know where Jamaicans are from? Do you know the origin story? It's called Africa.
That part.
Just because they are in Jamaica doesn't mean that's where they originated.
Very quick last word.
Sorry.
And Eric, come on. Eric, you the king of mayonnaise. So please, let's not talk about seasoned chicken when you are unseasoned chicken. Please. This sister grew up in Oakland, in the Bay Area. Black folks. And Eric, it's a lot.
It's about it because this is a public platform. There's a news. So what he was talking about, don't call somebody white when you just as literally white your damn self. Sure.
This is too much for me. That's all I can say. This is just too much for me. All this back and forth, and this person from here, they not from there. And this is what I'll say about trying to appeal to black people.
Mm-hmm.
They look at what they see on social media, blogs, and all of that in television. How we advertise ourselves, what we do for a living, how we're seen in movies, how we're portrayed, what the songs that we sing, the things that we buy, what we're known for, and they use that as, oh, well, this is what black people like, so this is how I'm
See,
going to appeal to
that's
them.
right. Right. So
It's
for
insulting,
those of us,
however, that's what they see.
absolutely, because like when we talked about those tennis shoes, you
Right.
can't have to say without any without any real pushback that the idea came from why Donald Trump would think that, because we saw these folks lined up during the pandemic to get some Nikes.
And they pay hundreds of dollars for that. He's trying to raise some money, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, let me do this,"
Sometimes
and
it's
they sold out too.
right. Sometimes it's what you put out. It's what folks pay attention to, folks. Sure. Anything else? Before we click this go button here, roll this beautiful beat footage.
And roll that beautiful beam footage.
Black people, Harry Belafonte, Shirley Chisholm, Stokely Carmichael, who are not from here.
More Caribbean. Indeed, Michael Steele and Roland Martin.
America's commander-in-chief. Kamala couldn't lead a campfire sing-along, let alone the country's armed forces.
Now, this is one of the most popular news shows on Fox. They call this news. But this guy is Greg, I think his name is Gutfield or something like that. And listen to how this man is able to speak about not that she's a presumptive candidate. She is the sitting vice president of the United States. There was a time, folks, that you could talk about the president of the United States or the vice president of the United States without somebody coming to see you.
Right, knocking on your door. Mm-hmm.
But listen to this. Listen how he talked about this vice president of the United States.
Forces, but does that matter? Not to the media. Now, they would like this framed as a team sport battle, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican. But in reality, it's the media narrative machine versus reality. And that machine is now fully operational. So now what you'll get is the propagandist image of a confident, inspiring executive, which is meant to cover up the harsh truth of a deceiving incompetent. The strategy is simple. Fill the shelf space with lies so there's no room for anything else. Quick, name something Harris has accomplished in the last 4 years, besides building a fort out of empty cartons of box wine. Can't, no one can. The days don't care. He simply slotted her in where Joe once was. I only hope they wiped it down with Lysol first to get rid of.
In one fell swoop, he just called this woman, this vice president, Madam Vice President, a drunk and a slob.
Mm.
Sure.
Insulting, very insulting.
And it continues.
Old man smell. But to fulfill the goals, there's no way to stay in the realm of reality. As a result, the mainstream media is gearing up to bombard us with a narrative that Kamala is the answer. Amazing, historic, energetic, young, and fresh. When the best they could say about Joe was that he was disturbingly lifelike. But the narrative is firmly up against something else, the basket case theory. For as time marches on, we'll see the flaws and the weirdness of Kamala until, holy hell, America sees she's a basket case. And can you actually imagine her delivering a State of the Union or negotiating with...
He called the vice president of the United States a basket case.
Wow.
An educated woman, an accomplished woman, a basket case. And is able to get away with it. This guy, that guy right there. What are your accomplishments? See, I'm being tempered right now because I have a co-host. My co-host is a woman, so I'm being tempered. But if I get you by yourself, there, Greg Gutfield, I got some words for you.
Putin or Kim Jong-un? Hell, they speak better English than she does. After
you use a laugh track. You don't even your jokes are so dry that no one really is laughing at them. So you use a laugh track, and your insulted rampage of this vice president of the United States.
few sentences from her, the translators would throw up their hands and say, "I'll take the firing squad now."
He said that she can't speak English, and folks would rather kill themselves than to listen to her, or to try and teach her to speak English, or to translate what she means.
With his laugh track.
With his laugh track.
Mm-mm-mm.
I told you it gets worse.
Our only hope is after they hear about coconuts, school buses, and Venn diagrams, they'll be too confused to bomb us. So it's Kamala the savior versus Kamala the basket case. And the goal of the media is to keep you in the first narrative so you don't enter the second. Every Joy, Mika, and Joe will read from the same script tattooed on the inside of their eyelids. It'll be the media equivalent of synchronized swimming. A lot of dorks kicking water in your eyes so you don't see that they're drowning. It's exactly what they did with Biden. Try to keep you in the he's sharp as a tack world and not in the he's a basket case world, which, as you know, was a lie Harris herself took part in for almost 4 years. That should be the focus, not the linguistic weenie. It's that she lied to the American people, aiding the most egregious and dangerous political cover-up in American history. Then, when the time was right, she took his spot and his money. Now, I do believe the modern media consumer is savvy enough to see this. Certainly you won't fall for it. We've been burned by this stove many times before, the stove being the hoax-inducing media. The stove that told you riots were mostly peaceful. Trump said they were good Nazis, and Joe's the sharpest knife in the drawer, although apparently...
And did Trump not to say that there were peaceful protests on both sides when he was talking about the neo-Nazis and they will not replace us? Was the riots of 20,000 caused because of police brutality and political unrest? Was the January 6th insurrection a hoax?
Looked real to me.
I'm just saying. So, but this is what those folks at Fox News are getting a dose of every day, folks. This is one of their #1 shows that Tucker Carlson is not there anymore.
Not as sharp as the ones his allies used to stab him in the back with. So remember who burned you last time as you experienced the most orchestrated hoax yet. That Kamala, who's been a punchline for 4 years, it's anything more than a joke. So as we enter the home stretch, just remember this. It's not Kamala versus Trump, it's fantasy versus reality. And if you fall into the us versus them framework, you lose. Because this time, it's not just about competing ideologies. This time, it's you versus the machine.
Actually, it's a prosecutor versus a convicted felon. To be 100% honest with you, that's what it's about. Let's slide on over to TikTok for a minute and check out what some of the folks are saying over there. Okay, move this out the way. How about this young lady right here? What you got to say, ma'am? Come here.
Just threaten the sitting vice president of the United States on a public forum in writing? You know that's illegal, right? And on top of that, you got your whole name, your whole government name right in your profile. Not just your name, but your dad's name. Sorry about your dad. And there you are. There you are, a domestic terrorist.
A domestic terrorist. When is it okay to get on social media or any other platform and say you wish to do bodily harm to the president or the vice president, or senator, or a guy from the House Republicans? When is it okay to incite political violence?
Yeah, when is that?
And how is this post allowed to circulate the way it has? How did it stay up for as long? Why is this guy? Why is his social media privileges not taken away? Why the FBI not arrested him yet? Y'all go and check him out and see what happened to him. I don't know. Let's continue. This is just on TikTok, folks.
Wow. The internet's forever, Derek. Enjoy your visit from the feds. Did you just threaten the sitting vice president of the United States?
He did.
Ace to Trump.
Now, this next clip right here is Farrakhan, and he said something to me that I think was quite profound. Y'all listen to this.
Was when the man he called Sleepy Joe became the president-elect of the United States of America and called a black woman to his side. She ain't no lightweight. Kamala Harris is a heavyweight. And look at how white folks are thinking right now. She's a heartbeat away from being the first black president. If he dies while in office, so white folks are upset. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They see our rise, and we are witnessing their fall. The biggest slap in the face to Trump was when the man he called Sleepy Joe became the president-elect.
That's right. The man that he called Sleepy Joe, when he became the president-elect. And Sean, how many times have I said that? And folks thought I was just whistling Dixie when I said that. But if Joe Biden, for some reason or another, was not able to fulfill his duties through death or sickness or illness,
Mm-hmm.
the vice president is to step in. And who is the vice president?
Kamala Harris.
Right. So, and if the vice president can't fulfill the duty, goes to the Speaker of the House. So, if the Democrats take the House and the Senate next year, it will be a black woman president, possibly a gay vice president, because all the folks, the pundits are saying that she might choose Pete Buttigieg as her running mate. And then the Speaker of the House would be Hakeem Jeffries.
Mm.
And not only that, on the Supreme Court, we got who? Judge Brown, John Kenji Jackson Brown. If I said the name correctly. It's our time. So what Farrakhan just said, it is our time. We can't be distracted anymore. Sure, anything?
That will be all.
And if you don't know this fella right here, folks, this is Bill Bellamy that's about to speak next. Let's see what he's about to say.
People are starting to percolate, starting to say your little slick shit on the internet, and you got your little kind of innuendos. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all not ready for black women, bro. Y'all not ready for the black vote. Y'all not ready for the minority.
No, they're not. They're not ready for the black women, Sean. They're not ready because the one thing that black women heard Trump say that's pissed them off to where they're, and I don't want to say this in a mean way, but they're going to make sure Kamala Harris wins out of spite. What you mean we can't have a black woman president? What you mean by that? We only want a white man president. What you mean by that? Black women are going to be galvanized just because of that statement alone. You agree or disagree?
I agree. I've been hearing that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I got to say this, when I was married, it was time to talk to them bill collectors. Hey, baby, yeah, handle that. There you go. They ain't won't talk to you. They think they can get around me, but here, wait a minute, let me put my wife on the phone. But sir, that's not necessary. So, I mean, I think the movement started with Stacey Abrams when it came to black women galvanizing, because I think they turned Georgia from a red state to a blue state. And we go back a little farther with Michelle and Barack Obama. And it's a new energy. It has a different feel to it. So I do believe this woman could be the next president of the United States. I really do feel that. Because y'all done piss black women off. You ain't want to do that. Right, Bill?
Bro, but you definitely not ready for the black woman vote. Y'all done started some shit, and they gonna be voting like they gonna be showing up to the voting polls like the jump party. Whoo, wah, ah, ah, whoo, wah, ah, ah, whoo, ah, ah. Right? People go, oh my God, but whoever they are, it's a lot of them. I'm gonna tell you right now, all you racist people that are starting to percolate, starting to say your little slick shit on the internet, and you got your little kind of innuendos.
Start insulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that. I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men.
And this particular, Big J, if you ever tune in and listen to this particular clip is you, because I've heard you say this. Black men are not going to put up with this shit anymore.
Protect came up about 1,000 times. Protect this sister. Protect this sister. We're going to protect her. Protect her. You're about to see something you haven't seen before. Look, people messed around with Hillary Clinton and said a bunch of mean stuff to her. Black men set that out. We won't set this up. So I don't think that the Republican Party understands that all the work that they did trying to get us over there, two more days of this, it's going to be a problem. You niggas ain't shit.
You know that it's cheap and expensive, you know the difference, you know that it's getting, you know what it's giving. Hair, nails, bare. I could survive in the coldest conditions. All fair laws, they told me expand. Bitches is wild, soap in the dishes. I got pressure like bells and strictest. School bitch, old bitch, new bitch, none of y'all bitches not gon' do shit. I'm in Miami, I'm on for cruise ship. You in Miami for also room shit. When I stop the stampede, put on neck, can't breathe, looking tall, gang clean. Diamonds on my skin, my eyes linking up. I'm like, what in the fuck? If you scared, then just say that. Oh, enough is enough. Look, me versus you, and you know they pick it. Cheap and expensive, you know the difference. You know.
You a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country. This issue is personal. I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border. No child should grow up in orphan.
Are you racist?
He said, my mama a crackhead.
Yeah, that's what he said. His mama was crackhead. The Mexicans had her hemmed up. Coming across the border, knowing she was looking for them drugs, and y'all sold it to her. Drugs don't sell themselves, folks. You gotta have two things. Got to be involved. You gotta have a supplier and a buyer in order for that transaction to work.
Supply and demand.
Right, JD Vance. So your mama was a crackhead? Who's unintelligent, folks? Really?
It is insane.
Because of those immigrants.
Because of the immigrants.
Not because his mama put the crack tub on, but because of the immigrants.
This ain't nothing we haven't seen. I hate America, bro. I swear to God, I hate America, bro. I hate this.
And the light, oh my God. The president's sister.
This is the president of the United States, someone that's directly connected to his family. I want y'all to listen to what she thinks about Donald Trump. This is a blood relative.
Retired federal judge Marianne Trump-Berry was reported by her niece Mary slamming her famous brother.
Change of story is a lack of preparation, the lying, holy all he wants to do is appeal to his base. He has no principles. None. Donald's out for Donald. Period. Goddamn tweet and the line. Oh my God.
The president's sister, retired federal judge Marianne Trump-Berry.
Support for Kamala Harris is unprecedented. We've never seen anything.
You want to touch on that Donald Trump's sister? I think enough. She said it all enough. There's no need to go into that.
Man, they called her. She wasn't ready for that. She just thought she was talking and was recorded, telling her heart the way she thought.
Right, her real feelings, right?
Yeah.
So this next clip, folks, again, I'm glad some of the lighter hue brothers have stepped up and called some of these white men out. And this is exactly what he's about to. Y'all check this out.
Thing like this in our lifetimes. Just the other day, 44,000 black women got on a Zoom call and raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris. And then black men did it, and they got a bunch of people and raised a bunch of money. Yesterday, white women got on a Zoom call, 136,000 of them. They crashed the Zoom and raised more than $2 million. But you know what? White men did the same thing yesterday. And the white men only got, less than 2,000 people, and they raised $35,000. So God bless the white men that got on board there and donated.
Sounds like somebody else trying to raise a little fun for the little black boys, huh?
Oh, a bone ting.
I'm sorry. Didn't I predict 2054 before he got
Yeah.
That's an inside joke between me and Sean, folks. I'm not going to indulge it, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
30 more years to go.
Money. But motherfucker, please. I can call out white man because I'm an old white man. And that is bullshit. White man, you better get on this motherfucking train or you're going to get left behind or run.
White man, you better
Favorite
get
word. You heard that?
Right. He said, as long as he don't call me no motherfucker, he can use it. Don't do it. Don't call me no motherfucker. Don't do it. But he said, you out your motherfucking mind?
You said that from the heart, though.
The heart. He meant that, folks. The motherfucker, please.
Run over. It's absolutely ridiculous that white men didn't show up like everybody else did. There's a lot of white men in my peer group out here on TikTok and all over the country. A lot of people support what's going on. You got to get off your asses, get involved. We've got a movement going here, and you better get in the movement or you're going to be left behind. I'm a little embarrassed by the white men, so let's fucking pick it up a notch. Let's do what we have to do to support Kamala Harris and save fucking democracy. What more do you fucking need? The support for Kamala Harris is unprecedented.
Harris presidency means white men go to the back of the line. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that white women... that's totally true. Let me just to be clear. You're saying that women, white women in particular, are going to vote against Kamala Harris because they have been the beneficiaries? No, because they know what's happening to their husbands when their husbands apply for a job.
Okay. Did you hear this white woman say they know what's happening to their husbands? Welcome to the club, lady. There's a whole lot of black women that's been knowing what's been happening to their husbands since the beginning of this United States of America. Come on, lady. Are you kidding me? But see, this is the problem that I have with these type networks. They put these people out front and center. It's a problem I have with them. Wait a minute, you're not gonna come on here. You go to Fox News with that shit. You're not gonna come on this program with that. No, ma'am. Yeah, it's good to know what you're into talking about, but you can watch them. You got to sit in front of them. Sean, anything so far on this?
That's it. Continue.
Their sons apply to get a job. I can tell you that young white men graduating from college and going into the workplace this year are being told, we'd like to hire you, but we have a quota. We have to fill with women and minorities. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I've experienced that too. Music, we'd like to hire you, but we hired someone else. And come to find out, the guy works at Burger King, and I got the credentials. What the fuck did that mean? Actual and factual. I had the credentials because he looked Chinese. That's why he got the position. He's a white guy that looked Chinese. Could speak a lick of Chinese, but they held that against me and not him. So forgive me, Miss Lady, if I don't share or drop a few tears for you and your white husband. I could give a fuck less. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. So when she says the white men go to the back of the line, I just thought of something. Isn't Madam Vice President married to a white man?
She is.
I'm just saying. Where he going?
That is what is happening, and it is a very important issue to Americans.
Well, I thought the Supreme Court said affirmative action wasn't allowed. So
That's right. But and when the court said that,
is actually hold it up because they not allowed to name anymore.
that's right. But Kamala Harris bashed the Supreme Court ruling, saying no, she doesn't want colorblind society. She wants equity. She believes that if people start in a different place, they should be judged differently, and she wants minorities and women to be advantaged in job
I don't want to go deep into it. I don't want to go deep into everything you're saying is really honestly deeply offensive.
It's a fake policy. First of all,
Okay, there, ladies. Since y'all didn't want to say it, I'll say it for you. Bitch, shut up.
I don't think that Kamala Harris wants her husband to be disadvantaged, her stepson to be disadvantaged. What you are saying, you are totally twisting.
I'm not.
Yes, you might want to
environmental justice for all. If you're looking at setting up this diversity commission around the CARES Act, trying to impose racial preferences for the Federal Reserve and Federal Reserve staff.
How about everything for white farmers?
This is something where she was differentiated. It's been lockstep with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, but in this one domain, race-conscious policy was a high priority for her. By the way, some people think that's great, but then let's honestly engage with what her policy prescriptions were, and the fact that not everyone feels like you do.
That a Kamala Harris presidency means white men go to the back of the line.
Well, take your ass to the back of the line then. Let's go to the next clip. Char, anything on that?
Somebody got to be in the back.
Right. Why not y'all for a change? See what it is. They ride in the caboose.
Write some papers and do some podcasts and explain your experience.
Right. That's what, isn't that what they want that young lady to do? We covered that. See, that's just a good thing about having a co-host. They remind you of things sometimes, because that's exactly what they wanted that young lady to do. Tell your experience about why you feel like you was white. But that's what they wanted that young lady to do. Give us your life experiences about being black before we consider you. Am I wrong?
Nope, not at all.
Let's continue.
New campaign ad for Kamala Harris just dropped. And I must tell you, she's cooking.
No one wanted it this way. Joe Biden is a good man, a good American, a great president. But time and the burden of the office means it's time to step aside, to put a warrior into the political arena, ready to take on Donald Trump, to face up to the un-American plan Trump and Project 2025 will impose. Vice President Kamala Harris is ready, experienced, and as a tough prosecutor, Kamala Harris dealt with men like Trump all the time. Rapists, con men, frauds, criminals. She's used to guys like Trump, used to putting them in their place.
Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America?
Kamala Harris will bring something to Trump he's rarely seen. Justice.
You hear that? That's MAGA panicking right now because, yes, Kamala Harris is going to be able to prosecute Donald Trump in front of the American people because, wow, that's exactly what she is, a prosecutor. And to you Trump supporters, like I said, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. We haven't even gotten to who's her VP. Trump supporters!
Now, speaking on that particular part right there, we haven't gotten to that, folks. So imagine, again, I seem to be, from all the polls that I've seen, that seems to be that Pete Buttigieg is the front runner for the consideration. And she's supposed to probably announce that by August the 7th. But imagine he is a part of the LGBT community. So imagine how much support is going to come from that community if she does choose him. The one main community that Donald Trump and his cronies are trying to, for lack of a better word,
Leave out. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, good pickup, Short. Thank you.
Get those knee pads and those elbow pads ready. Cause Jack Smith and Fonnie Willis and Letitia James and Kamala Harris and Alvin Bragg. I can't even say it right, but you know what I mean. They're coming for you. It's over, MAGA. It really is. This new campaign ad for Kamala Harris.
That's what the Republicans gonna see when they get to that convention, folks. Because I guarantee you, this Democratic convention is gonna be star-studded. I can promise you this. I think that Hollywood, especially the women, the elite, and the entertainers, the musicians, I think they're gonna come out in droves to support this vice president. I think they're going to come out in droves, and I think it's all going to start at the star-studded, historic Democratic convention coming up in August. And that's how the Republicans going to walk through the door like, what the fuck is going on here? Now,
of course,
when they say all skin folk ain't kinfolk, I think they meant this about Candace Owens, Clarence Thomas, Byron, whatever his name is. What's that other yes boss? Byron, what's his name? Tim Scott, Candace Owens. I want you, we're not going to go into it, but before we go any further, folks, of course, there's been an international, well, I won't call it an international incident, but there was an incident here the last couple of weeks or a couple of days ago that a young woman was shot in the face by a policeman. I'm not going to cover it during this. I wanted to give you a prelude to my next upload. I'm not going to be very nice to the folks about this one. Not only we have to step up election-wise, but we also have to step up to end this. This has got to stop. At any given time, you, Sharp, folks you know that look like you, my nieces, my nephews, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, they can call the police and be summarily put to death instead of being helped. And this is what this policeman did. But listen to this part here, folks. Let's go a little farther.
as I have said since the beginning of time, there are mistakes that police officers are human beings. There are mistakes that happen.
Candace Owens, this was not a fucking mistake. This was not a mistake that this policeman, again, folks, there's a whole lot more information coming out on it. I didn't want to speculate. I didn't want to report on something that all the facts weren't in yet, because something told me that this was not a coincidence. And little by little, information is starting to trickle out that there was a connection between that officer and Sandra Massey. So sometimes maybe by Monday or Tuesday, going to get as much footage as I can on this, and I'm going to do my report on it. But in the meantime, I want you folks to listen to this before we get out of here. This is the last clip that show. We're going to try and run this out for the next 5 to 6 minutes or so.
Police are people too. So what exactly was Sonia Massey?
I'm not going to stop this again, folks. I just want to say I'm going to let this run through, and then Charlotte, when we come back, we're going to say our goodnights from that. Just want to give you folks a prelude to what I'm going to talk about next.
Welcome to Races of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, and definitely leave me any possible suggestions for nominees in the comments. Now, first, I would like to take a moment to recognize Sonia Massey, the 36-year-old Illinois black woman who had called 911 for help with what she perceived as a prowler and ended up deceased on the floor of her home thanks to the very police that she called. The police that she greeted at the door by saying, "Please don't hurt me." You couple that with the fact that her last words were sorry, and you have something that's going to impact me in a very significant way. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a very long time, I've spoke at length about Elijah McClain and the reasons why that loss touched me and hurt me so much. The fact that he was saying, "I'm sorry," as he was being killed, literally. And the reason why that hurt me so much is because he really was internalizing his own brutality. He thought in that moment, or at least he vocalized in that moment, that in some way he was responsible for his own brutality. And when you greet the police by saying, "Please don't hurt me," and your last words being sorry, you echo that exact same sentiment, and you engender that exact same response in me. We found out later that the man who shot her, Sean Grayson, the 30-year-old Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy who has since been fired while being indicted by a grand jury last week on 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct in connection with the shooting on July 6th, didn't activate his body camera until after he had fatally shot Massey. The other deputy had activated his body camera when he first arrived at the scene, and in that body cam footage, Grayson could be heard telling his partner that Massey would need medical help immediately after the shooting. Grayson later goes to his vehicle to get his own medical supplies, and when he gets back to the house, he asks if there's anything he can do, and he's told no, to which he says, "All right, I'm not even going to waste my med stuff then." This was a man who records show worked at 6 different law enforcement agencies in 4 years after being charged twice with a DUI in 2015 and 2016. Now, just the first part of that, having worked at 6 different agencies in 4 years, would be disqualifying for a lot of jobs that require a lot less competence than walking around with a gun and a license to use it. Somehow, working for 6 agencies in 4 different years wasn't a red flag for this man to give him a license to kill. Not to mention the fact that you couple that with the DUIs, and you have a man who I can only wonder why he was deemed to be qualified to walk around with a badge and a gun. There's also the fact that, according to Sonia Massey's family, they were initially told that her death was self-inflicted. They were told that this woman had taken her own life in the initial accounts from the police. So I have to ask, how many times do we have to have the initial reports from the police completely contradict what comes out later in footage or what the official report becomes before we stop taking these initial reports as gospel. Because for me, it's not very many. It's not very many at all. If you have a friend, if you have a relative, if you have a coworker who tells you something that is repeatedly proven not to be the case, how long would it take you to stop taking what they say as gospel? I'm not even saying to assume what they're saying is a lie. There's a long way from assuming what they say is a lie from assuming what they say is the truth. I'm saying in that space in between is the ability to not receive the information they're giving you as necessarily exactly the way it went down. Our refusal as a country, okay, our refusal to move off of taking what they say as absolute gospel is why we are continually in this place.
All right, folks, excuse me, before we go any further, as you see right there, let me remove that. Didn't mean to put that there. My bad. As you can see there, folks, there's behind the screen, there's going to be a list of names of all the people that's been unalived, unarmed by the policeman. This is my next subject. Again, I'm not going to have a comment on it. Shard, is there anything about what you heard in that last comment that you want to add to?
No, I'm just gonna say I look forward to your next upload.
Again, folks, I'm not going to be nice. There's nothing to be nice about. What happened to Sonia Massey? And the reports that are coming out says everything about this was, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but this was not. This was a premeditated killing. And I can't say it no more plainer than that. But behind the chop shop model, folks, you'll see a list of names, and I want you to pay attention to the list behind you, and I want you to pay attention to the last words of some of these folks. In particular, please don't hurt me. What did I do wrong? And in Miss Massey's case, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Without that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank y'all so very much. Let me put this on the screen right quick. Shar, is there any other things that you want to say before we roll this clip? I want you folks to pay attention to on the way out the door.
No, nothing else.
Again, folks, we'll be back next week to try and give you some more election updates. Hopefully by August, maybe next week we'll have a candidate that Vice President will choose as a running mate. Any other news that we can come with that we'll compile, check us out next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll do it all over again. Till then, make sure you check me out live on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Classic R&B Jams with Say It Loud, the Music Cafe, playing some music from the decades, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or check out the main station at classic-rnbjams.com. All right? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this out by, I want you folks to pay attention to this list that you see.
report is
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you so very much. Shar, I'll see you next week. Again, just looking at that list there, folks. I hope you folks pause it and read some of the very last words. But if you notice, a lot of these those folks that you saw that were summarily put to death didn't get a chance to say anything. No goodbye. No nothing. One young lady was even shot while she was sleeping. Till next week, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, watch your 3, your 6, and your 9.